10:35 a.m. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Well, Coleman didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. The night of the murder. That night, I was in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked over at the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard a single gunshot, I went home. That was unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's gonna say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. I was on a boat in the middle of the lake. Something wrong, Mr. Wright. There's just so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay, first of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out onto the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night, so I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something and I found it. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it that you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in this sense. This is irrelevant. Let's get it over with. So I quietly slipped the boat back to the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figured I was out searching for about an hour, so I guess it was around midnight, yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa! Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case! So after I heard that shot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick? Pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should start working on the contradictions. Sorry. Okay, I think we need a lot of testimony about the whole 2 shots. That single gunshot, I went home. I heard 2 shots. 2 sounds like 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang. You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lauderhart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? You were paying attention. Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard 1 gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? How could you not be sure? Well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. Where's my headphones? What? Order! Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts, you are listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That's a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Kalmer, your opinion? Waste of time. I don't accept this witness, nor his shoddy in testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should we continue the testimony? Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Well, Mr. Butts, please give us your testimony, and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I listened to my all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly when the DJ was saying, when I heard it too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't it a free country? I truly believe Harry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness is saying? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness says he remembered exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me. DJ? An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. Anyways, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs. So, he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Okay, I'm pretty sure I need that last bit. Oh, shoot. What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what the radio DJ said us do? Indeed, Mr. Von Kalmer has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do we know if we don't ask, Very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court what the radio announcer was saying when you heard the gunshot. Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She has this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Kalmer was right. I'm not sure how that helps us out at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. Gotta press it until I got to the bottom of it, hopefully. It's almost Christmas. Sometime on the 24th. But this photo was taken at 12:15. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easily. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard that gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of that fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Mrs. Hart's camera. 12:25:015. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor! I am losing my voice. Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard the gunshots before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? I would say he's right. Larry is not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence! There was a gunshot before midnight. Shows an empty lake taken on the 24th at 11:50. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on this photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh! But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set off to go in response to loud noises. Ah! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, that would seem to be the case. Then, where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshot after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night, there were two sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose is clear that night, man! Clear! Well, Mr. Wright, there is no turning back now. Can you prove the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the courtroom the evidence if you have any. The gun? The motor weapon, a .22 caliber, fired 3 times, bear prints of Edgeworth's right hand. This is my evidence. The motor weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the motor weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order! Order! This would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen on the night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why? Uh-oh. I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots. Separated by 25 minutes? Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it! I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murder in this case had the same idea as the murder in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, well, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right, I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing else to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick? Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So, you finally realize the truth. There can be no other murderer here. than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it is hard to imagine another possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 minutes after midnight, but Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on this boat are. The murderer and Hammond, Edgeworth and the murderer, Edgeworth and Hammond. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Mr. Edgeworth. What's that? Are you serious? Yes. Edgeworth wouldn't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous! Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name. Right, it's Miles Edgeworth, Lotta Hart. It could be Lotta, technically. But I'm pretty sure it's the old man, and I don't know his name. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time! I don't know, because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out to the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. Not on the boat. It's not over here because that's where Larry was. It's not over here because that's where Lotta Hart was. So I'm guessing over here? Around here, maybe. Maybe, Mr. Wright. And does this maybe include the reason why the killer would choose that spot? Well, maybe because there is no good reason the murderer thought we'd never expect it. Oh, wait, did it have it inside the boat? But then there would have been a hole, right? Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way, he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have any proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. That night, he was out on the lake on a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then, as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where could that be if he had just returned the boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then, he got on the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes, Your Honor. Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us, why would the murderer have to fire twice? Because the first shot missed. To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anybody who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hunt did exactly that after hearing that first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and then fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol on the boat behind him. I see. If someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired on the night at Gourd Lake. Bailiff! Bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker. Quickly! Very well. While we're waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Mild Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you have heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. That letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked to come to the boat shop at the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we're conducting a trial here. I ask you to remain quiet. The witness has disappeared! He ain't at the boat shop either! What? What should we do? Find him, quickly! We cannot allow him to get away! Mr. Von Kalmar, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. That went very smoothly, compared to some of my other trials. 1:22 p.m., court lobby number 2. Yay, Nick! You did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even though Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony, Larry really helped us out. Sure. once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. And of course our cases weren't so down to the wire at the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. Pained? I mean, it looks like you're probably gonna get it off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax! I'm sorry. But I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There was something that's been troubling me for a long time now. And I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No. There's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Alrighty then. This thing just keeps getting crazier and crazier. We'll have to save the day 2 investigation, or day 3 investigation for next time. Because I need a drink. The old man's voice killed me more than anything else right now. And I have to do him again next time. Oh well.